Hello, my name is Kaylee Paggio with the Office of the Washington State Auditor. The purpose of this training is to provide an overview of the memorandum and balance sheet BARS accounts used by local governments who report under the GAAP basis of accounting. Let's start out by defining what balance sheet accounts are and what they are used for. Within each local government's chart of accounts, you'll find a series of 800 codes, which are referred to as the balance sheet accounts, and they are used to report information from the balance sheet or statement of net position. This includes current and non-current assets, deferred inflows and outflows, current and non-current liabilities. These codes are applicable to all GAAP funds except fiduciary. It is important to note that you must use the balance sheet and/or statement of net position from the GAAP proprietary and governmental fund financial statements and not the government-wide statements. Now let's talk about memorandum accounts, which are only applicable to GAAP proprietary funds. These accounts are used to report financial activity related to debt and capital assets, which are not reported in the operating statement, but provide valuable information. The collection of this data is necessary for producing comparative statistics, which the State Auditor's Office is required to do based on state law. Essentially, these memorandum accounts are used for informational purposes only and provide valuable financial data that we would not be able to collect otherwise. Since these accounts are for informational purposes only, amounts reported to them do not impact the balancing requirement of the Schedule O1 for the GAAP proprietary funds only. Now let's look at the memorandum accounts for debt-related activities a little more closely. When debt is issued in a GAAP proprietary fund, no revenue or inflow is recorded on the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. Historically, since this activity is not recorded on the operating statement, it would have been omitted from the Schedule O1 to avoid balancing issues that prevented submission of the annual report. Without the use of these memorandum accounts, though, it would appear as if GAAP proprietary funds never issued any debt. And that really does skew the comparative statistics that we are required to produce. But now, with the use of memorandum accounts, we could remain transparent to our constituents and see the accurate amount of debt issued across all local governments. And just like when debt is issued, when debt is paid or capital assets are purchased in a GAAP proprietary fund, no expense or outflow is recorded on the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. The use of these memorandum accounts report the amounts paid on debt and capital related payments and are collected for informational purposes only to allow us to meet the statutory requirement for producing comparative statistics. And as you can see, these memorandum accounts are the same ones you use to report these activities in your governmental funds. However, the difference is when they are reported in GAAP proprietary funds, the annual filing system automatically knows to omit them from the system balancing check. And that's why it reduces the possibility of receiving any errors on your Schedule O1. And the best place to find additional guidance on preparing the Schedule O1 and the requirements of the balance sheet and memorandum accounts is the Schedule O1 instructions, which can be found in the BARS manual. You can find these by accessing the Reporting tab within the GAAP BARS manual and selecting Schedule O1 as shown on your screen. And if you have any questions related to the information in this training or any general BARS or annual filing questions, please email lgcsfeedback@sao.wa.gov, or you can submit a help desk ticket on our SAO homepage. Thank you for taking the time to watch this training, and I hope you have a great day.